Eric. Hi Lucy. Hi Creators team. My name is Varti. I live in a beautiful Gloucester, New Jersey in the United States. Several years ago, my husband and I came from Europe here and we started a life. Our kids, now 17 and 7, were born after we came here, and we had one really big challenge, starting a new life but also raising two beautiful kids. We learned a lot, a lot. Teaching has been a passion of mine for my whole life. That's what I wanted to be. When I was in kindergarten, I became a teacher and I continue teaching every opportunity I can find. So this program is a pretty big challenge. From the experience of raising my children, I know that a parent can do a lot of mistakes, and you can't be excused just because you're a parent. Imagine if you're like a leader of all of the kids of all over the world, right? Like that's a huge responsibility. So I had to take a couple of days to think about, how do I want to approach this? Like, what do I want to do? How do I want to create this program so that I build a base to a better generation? In today's world, we have a lot of electronics, a lot of distractions, not only for adults but also for kids. And sometimes for busy parents is the easiest thing to do. Just give kid a tablet and forget about it. But what about the development of that child? What about their imagination? What about not just consuming content but creating content, right? So the way that I thought about this program is like this. I used to be a teacher, like I mentioned, and it was for kids from 2.5 to 7 years old. That's kindergarten in Bulgaria. And from those times, I know that the attention span of the kids is quite different at different ages. At the age of 5 is usually about 5 minutes, so whatever the age, right? At the age of 6 is about 6 minutes, and after the age of 7, the attention span increases by a little bit, by a lot of it, by twice. So 15 to 20 minutes, you can grab their attention and keep it. So this program, I feel like you can't really do it for total of kids from 5 to 7. It kind of has to be separated on segments so that every age group has something to learn, some sort of an interest to find in those video calls. And so the segments that I thought about are about those. For example, the Land of Dreams. The Land of Dreams would be an ongoing story where we're gonna give them a scenario and we're gonna give them sort of a situation and we'll ask them to continue that. So every lesson there will be a continuation of that story to make it interesting for them and to also make them be a part of it, to create. This will build their imagination, and that's incredibly important for any creator for the rest of their life. Let me tell you a little story. When I was very little, I remember flying. I don't know if this was my imagination or if it was true, but I remember flying. And that has kept me happy every moment of my life that I thought about it. Can you imagine if every kid has one thing like that to turn into when they're down? It would be amazing. Another segment that I thought about was Yes, I Can. Yes, I Can would be a segment to build their confidence. Why is that important? It's important because a lot of parents try to do the best they can, but what they don't realize is sometimes they use a verbiage, they use a language that stops their kids from development. For example, saying no to a lot of things. What if that thought could turn into something really big? We never really give them a chance because we would cut them off and say no. So building a confidence is a big deal and very important for the new generation. Um, Another one is who I made happy today. So that's coming from actually from some of the core values that the scouts have, and is basically doing something good to make somebody happy. And something that we always like get confused about is that we always have to make somebody else happy. Not necessarily. We could make us happy. As long as we made one person happy a day, even if that's us, then we've done our jobs as a human being. Another segment I thought about was a message to another planet. A message to another planet, right? How many of us take the time to tell our kids that we may not be alone, that there may be another life, and it would be crazy if we thought we were alone. And so, what if we try to reach out? What if we try to get in touch with this other life? What would we learn? Can you imagine? It would be amazing. Another segment I thought about was the adventure of fearless Thomas. Something that we'll talk about, or maybe a game, even a game that will talk about like the connecting the logical with the gut feeling, right? It's very important. It creates a balance. It creates a balance if we stay focused on for long enough that creates the world around us. So another one that I thought about was healthy body, healthy mind, right? Like I don't know about other countries, but in the United States, obesity and diabetes and like immune system illnesses are a big deal. They're epidemic, right? So it's important to start teaching kids from an early age that what you put in your body is what comes out of it, right? Like what you get out of it. And so if it's junk, then that's what happens to you after. If it's something healthy and nutritious, then that's what you get out of it. And so maybe some cooking lessons, maybe teaching them about nutrition in general, but also something that comes from earth and whatnot. Maybe even planting vegetables and trees and stuff like that. I think it would be fun. Another one is all is energy. I think that's the most important one, right? Because we often forget that all is energy, including us. Energy that vibrates at a different frequency. Some energy vibrates so that we can see, and some energy vibrates so that we cannot see, but maybe we can feel. And some energy vibrates that we cannot see or feel, but it's there, right? And as adults, we get so hung up on the things that happen in life to us that we forget about it. And there's so much joy when you get connected to energy again. And for kids, that is just so easy, so easy. We just have to keep on reminding them and keep them connected. How would I recognize that, right? Like, obviously, kids would like to be recognized when they do something nice. And so the digital book of hearts, the more hearts they collect, the more milestones they reach. And when they reach a milestone, then we do something good on their behalf, like plant a tree, donate to a hungry child, or create clothing and send it to like poor people that can afford something like that, to make them part of society, to make them feel that they have done something for somebody else. That teaches respect and thoughtfulness, and it really builds them up as better people, I feel. Also, having said that, these are kids ages 5 to 7. It's probably a good idea to create groups within which like different ages can work together to sort of create together, and maybe even have like a wish buddy, like somebody who they can share their ideas, their wishes, and create together. These are just a few of the things that I thought about, but obviously there could be a lot more. And we'll see, Eric. If you feel like there is something that I can give to those kids, and I could be of help to build the next generation to a better generation, then